For many enthusiasts, the transition from sports car to SUVs represents a shift in life's priorities. Once accustomed to the exhilarating roar of high-performance engines and the adrenaline-fueled rush of the open road, they now find themselves navigating the twists and turns of family life, where practicality often takes precedence over speed. Yet, buried beneath the layers of responsibility and daily routine lies a persistent longing for something more. A yearning for performance that transcends the mundane confines of the daily commute. Enter the high-horsepower SUV, a phenomenon that's captivated the imaginations of enthusiasts worldwide. Born out of the desire to marry practicality with performance, these titans of the road have redefined the SUV landscape, offering a thrilling alternative to the traditional family hauler. From the thunderous roar of the engine to the awe-inspiring acceleration that defies expectations. These SUVs have reignited the passion of former sports car owners and captured the attention of a new generation of thrill seekers. In this video, we will dive into the top 9 SUVs that sparked the high-horsepower SUV trend, tracing their evolution from humble family haulers to pavement-pounding powerhouses. From the iconic pioneers that paved the way for future generations to the cutting-edge innovations that continue to push the boundaries of performance. Join us as we embark on a journey through the exhilarating world of high-horsepower SUVs. GMC Typhoon. It all started in the early 90s with the advent of the GMC Typhoon. This performance-driven SUV emerged as the illustrious sibling of the Cyclone pickup, sharing not only its compact truck platform, but also its appetite for speed. Bridging the gap between rugged utility and high-octane thrill, the Typhoon featured a turbocharged 4.3-liter V6 engine, which was borrowed from the Grand National, a departure from the traditional V8 powerhouses commonly found in American high-performance vehicles. This unconventional power plant propelled the Typhoon with 284 horsepower and 360 foot-pounds of torque, all thanks to some tweaking done by McLaren, debunking the notion that SUVs were merely utilitarian. What truly set the Typhoon apart was its ability to rival sports cars of the time, achieving a jaw-dropping 0 to 60 mph sprint in just 5.3 seconds. This performance prowess was not just a numbers game. It signaled a departure from the conventional SUV narrative, hinting at the untapped potential within the segment. The Typhoon's chassis, borrowed from the Cyclone pickup and shared with models like the Chevy Blazer and S10, laid the foundation for the nascent performance SUV movement. The recipe was simple yet effective. Integrate a powerful engine, tweak the aesthetics with a slightly aggressive body kit, and ensure an all-wheel drive system for unparalleled grip. We did a full-blown review of the history and evolution of the Cyclone in another video. The link to that video will be available in the description box. Despite its trailblazing performance, the Typhoon maintained an air of subtlety, visually indistinguishable from its non-performance sibling, the GMC Jimmy. The only telltale signs were the discreet Typhoon logos on the headrest and glove box. This unassuming exterior concealed a powerhouse that defied the norms of its time. Weighing in at 3,807 pounds, it managed to marry nimbleness with brawn, challenging the preconceived notions of SUV performance. Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited. As the echoes of the Typhoon's roaring success reverberated, another car company caught the fever and decided to do something about it in the late 90s. This decision led to the 1998 Jeep Grand Cherokee 5.9 Limited. Hailing from Detroit, this SUV not only bore the torch of its predecessor's performance legacy, but also injected a dose of American muscle into the mix. In a bold move, Jeep opted for the largest displacement V8 in the Chrysler arsenal. Similar to how Dodge put big engines in cars, a robust 5.9-liter unit generating 245 horsepower and an impressive 345 pound-feet of torque. This powerhouse was not just about numbers. It symbolized a commitment to pushing the boundaries of what SUVs could achieve. In the end, the 5.9 Limited turned out to be a vehicle that Jeep was proud of. This trailblazing model, however, was a fleeting delight, gracing the SUV landscape for just a single model year before the closure of the Grand Cherokee's first generation. Yet the seeds of innovation had been sown at Chrysler, foreshadowing a future where the Grand Cherokee would once again captivate the world with an SRT-branded sequel to the 5.9 Limited. Mercedes-Benz ML55 AMG. Now, at the time, two countries seemed to be at the forefront when it comes to SUV conversations, the US and Germany. So while the US was leading the way in high-power SUVs, everyone knew that it wasn't long until the German boys entered the fray. And they were not wrong. It didn't take long. Germany's first entry into the foray was the production of the Mercedes-Benz ML55 AMG, a manifestation of German engineering prowess and a harbinger of the performance revolution within the segment. 2 years after breaking away from the military vehicle roots with the G-Class, Mercedes-Benz once again pushed the boundaries with the ML Class, presenting the ML55 AMG. Underneath its sleek exterior, this mid-size SUV concealed a powerhouse, a juiced-up version of the 5-liter V8 from the SL500, expanded to a formidable 5.5-liter. The result was a commanding 342 horsepower that would up the SUV game at the time. However, the ML55 AMG wasn't just about raw power. It represented a holistic approach to performance, embracing enhancements like stiffer shocks, stickier rubber, larger brakes, standard all-wheel drive, and a more muscular bodywork. This wasn't merely an SUV. It was a high-performance machine meticulously crafted for a dynamic driving experience. While it may not have reached the zenith of its eventual world-dominating capabilities, the AMG's take on the mid-size SUV served as a resounding wake-up call. This formidable creation stirred every European sport utility builder, and even a certain Japanese contender, into action, prompting them to send their own haulers to the metaphorical gym. It bears mentioning that this SUV led to the ML63. Infiniti FX. The 2003 debut of the Infiniti FX clearly showed the world that Nissan, and the whole of Japan for that matter, heard the challenge put forward by the Mercedes SUV and was ready to answer it, boldly declaring its arrival as the Bionic Cheetah. Unlike its predecessors, the Infiniti FX unapologetically turned its back on traditional off-road capabilities. Instead, it embraced a lighter platform shared with the Nissan 350Z and the Infiniti G35, setting the stage for a truly captivating on-pavement experience. This departure from convention marked a defining moment in the luxury SUV world. At the heart of the FX lineup was the FX35, which borrowed the 280 horsepower, 3.5-liter VQ V6 engine from the Nissan Z sports car. For those seeking the pinnacle of performance, the FX45 took center stage with a robust 4.5-liter V8, unleashing an impressive 315 horsepower. This powerhouse could confidently challenge the quickest BMW and Mercedes-Benz SUVs of its time, boasting a 0 to 60 time of 6.3 seconds and impeccable handling. The Infiniti FX wasn't just about raw power, it was a harmonious blend of elegance and dynamism. The sleek exterior combined with the athletic underpinnings delivered an engaging driving experience that resonated with enthusiasts. The FX45 in particular left its competitors trailing in its wake, setting new standards for acceleration and handling in the luxury SUV segment. By the time the Infiniti FX received an update in 2008, the performance SUV landscape had become more crowded. However, its initial impact had already paved the way for a new era, dominated by crossovers. The FX's daring departure from off-road pretenses, coupled with its performance pedigree, had charted a path forward, influencing the design and ethos of luxury crossovers to come. Ford SVT Thunder Expedition. Before the Ford Raptor seized the limelight as Ford's performance pickup truck, there was the formidable F-150 SVT Lightning, a symbol of raw power and speed on 4 wheels. Yet amidst the rumble of the Lightning, another legend was preparing to emerge at the time, the Ford SVT Thunder Expedition. While it never graced production lines, its legacy looms large, and as such, it deserves being mentioned on our list of high-performance SUVs. The genesis of the SVT Thunder Expedition can be traced back to the late 1990s, when Ford's Special Vehicles Team, or SVT, sought to extend their performance prowess beyond pickups to full-size SUVs. Building upon the success of the SVT Lightning, they envisioned a performance version of the Ford Expedition that would redefine the boundaries of speed and capability. At the heart of the SVT Thunder Expedition pulsed a supercharged 5.4-liter SOHC V8 engine, delivering exhilarating 360 horsepower and a formidable 440 pound-feet of torque. Paired with a heavy-duty 4-speed automatic transmission, this powerhouse propelled the Thunder Expedition from 0 to 60 miles per hour in a blistering 5.6 seconds, rivaling sports cars of its era. So why did the Thunder Expedition never see the light of day? As with many legends, timing played a pivotal role. Amidst the impending end of the Expedition's production cycle and the imminent arrival of a new generation, SVT deemed the project unfeasible. While only one prototype was ever built, the Thunder Expedition remains a tantalizing what-if in the world of automotive fantasies. Porsche Cayenne Turbo S. Seeing that the world is now waking up to the trend it inspired, Germany soon put forward another fighter. In 2003, the Porsche Cayenne made a bold entrance onto American roads, challenging brand purists with its fusion of plus-size practicality and genuine off-road capability. A four-door Porsche was, to some, an affront to tradition. Yet the Cayenne managed to defy expectations with features like low-range gearing and a height-adjustable air suspension. However, it wasn't until 2006 that the Cayenne reached the zenith of its performance evolution with the Turbo S edition. This variant etched its place in history by not just being a range topper, but by setting a precedence for the formidable muscle machines that would dominate the SUV space in the years to come. The Turbo S was the embodiment of sheer power, boasting a 520 horsepower, 4.5-liter twin-turbo V8 engine. This powerhouse catapulted the Cayenne to 60 miles per hour in a breathtaking 5 seconds flat, redefining expectations of what an SUV could achieve in terms of speed and performance. In essence, the Turbo S not only elevated the Cayenne's status within the Porsche lineup, but also cracked the whip, compelling the German high-end SUV builders, notably BMW M, to raise the bar in their offerings. While phenomenally expensive at the time, with a starting price of $120,000, the Turbo S boldly demonstrated that there was a market hungry for assertive and powerful people movers. Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8. With more and more German and Japanese companies starting to crowd the performance SUV segment, it goes without saying that car makers in the US were starting to feel left out. So when Chrysler decided to release the king of its high-performance SRT vehicles, the Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT8, almost everyone sighed. It's about damn time. Defying expectations by being the fastest among the original SRT offerings, it brought a new dimension to the high-performance landscape, not through a traditional sports car, but through the rugged silhouette of a Grand Cherokee. The distinguishing feature that set the Grand Cherokee SRT8 apart was its standard all-wheel drive system, providing a traction advantage that enabled it to accomplish a 0 to 60 mile/hour sprint in less than 5 seconds. This feat not only solidified its position as one of the fastest American vehicles, but also made it a formidable contender against significantly pricier European competition. The SRT badge, freshly polished by the success of the Grand Cherokee, gleamed with newfound glory among performance enthusiasts. Under the hood, the Grand Cherokee SRT8 wielded a potent 6.1-liter V8, finely tuned to unleash 420 horsepower and 420 pound-feet of torque. While these figures may seem modest when compared to the supercharged might of the Grand Cherokee Trackhawk today, it was the success and acclaim garnered by the SRT8 that paved the way for the evolution of these devilishly powerful successors. Chevrolet Trailblazer SS. Not long after the SRT8, the Chevrolet Trailblazer SS also rolled in, sitting rugged on its GMT 360 chassis. This platform, one of General Motors' most prolific examples of platform sharing, underpinned a variety of SUVs at the turn of the 21st century, making it a cornerstone of GM's product lineup. What makes the Trailblazer SS particularly intriguing is its formidable 6-liter LS2 V8 engine borrowed from the Corvette, unleashing an impressive 395 horsepower. This power plant catapulted these SUVs into a unique niche where performance met utility in a harmonious blend. While the SS might have been a tad slower than its crosstown SRT8 rival, they marked a singular moment in the evolution of GM's performance SUVs. This period witnessed the general experimenting with the concept of infusing sizable engines into relatively compact utility vehicles, resulting in a fleet of models that would set the stage for future performance SUVs. Range Rover Sport Supercharged. In the midst of the SUV surge that defined the early 2000s, Britain also tried its hand in this segment, with Land Rover seeking to make its mark by taking an unconventional route. Instructing its engineers to transform the LR3 into a more dynamic iteration, they carved steel, adorned it with a Range Rover look-alike body, and nestled a supercharged V8 beneath the hood. The outcome was the Range Rover Sport, a body-on-frame off-roader that blended rugged capability with straight-line prowess, courtesy of its formidable 390 horsepower and 410 foot-pounds of torque. Despite its near 6,000-pound curb weight, the Range Rover Sport Supercharged showcased a penchant for straight-line damage, propelled by its blown 4.4-liter V8. This powerhouse, while facing the challenge of motivating the hefty SUV, delivered an exceptional 390 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. Although it lagged behind some of its high-end counterparts by a couple of seconds in the sprint, it brought something unique to the table that none of its segment mates could match: unparalleled go-anywhere capability. The Range Rover Sport Supercharged prowess extended beyond the asphalt, demonstrating exceptional off-road capabilities that became the hallmark of Land Rover's reputation. It wasn't just about speed, it was about conquering diverse terrains, fording rivers, and carrying an exhaust note that resonated with enthusiasts seeking a blend of performance and adventure. This formula, a marriage of power and off-road capability, not only lent the Range Rover Sport Supercharged credibility, but also laid the groundwork for Land Rover's continued success in the SUV market. Over the subsequent years, Land Rover would refine this formula, shaping the Range Rover Sport into a vehicle that not only withstood the test of time, but continues to yield sales success for the brand today. As we conclude our journey through the trailblazing SUVs that kickstarted the high-horsepower revolution, the story doesn't end here. Join us in Part 2, where we shift gears to explore the modern SUVs that seamlessly carry on the legacy of their predecessors. The road ahead promises even more horsepower, cutting-edge tech, and a glimpse into the future of high-performance SUVs.